Ho, ho, ho! Happy Halloween, everyone, from the spirit of Santa Claus. I'm recording this on the 31st of October in the year 2013, otherwise known as All Hallows Eve, traditionally thought of as when spirits show themselves. Well, here I am. I know. Oh, spirit? Then how do you have a body? Well, you see, I'm also a legend, a myth, and a person. The myth and the legend grew and evolved out of stories. Some of those stories were about the person I used to be. I've changed quite a bit since then. Time does do that to a person. Some of the stories were based on things that really happened. Of course, some people didn't always get the facts straight. And of course, with time, stories change too. Especially when they're told by one person to another person, and then told by that person to another person. Yeah, over time, I became a legend. I also kind of went from being an elf to being a big fat human. Well, yeah, still got the elf ears. Can you see that? At any rate, you know, details like that people don't pay much attention to. Hey, but back to the point. So how is it that I have a body? Well, you see, I'm a spiritual being. That may confuse a few people. I'm not getting religious on you here, don't get me wrong. I'll get a little more into this in a while. At any rate, I've changed quite a bit, as I mentioned. Of course, with time, the stories people told about me, even long after I was no longer with a body of my own, continued to change. A little embellishment here and there to make them more interesting. Maybe a slight exaggeration once in a while, sometimes even one exaggeration on top of another. When I had a body of my own, it could only be in one place at a time. I worked hard. I made mistakes, but I tried to be a good person. I spread positive feelings and set a good example for the most part. In time, stories were spread, carrying my good nature with them. Well, this comes back to what I was saying about being a spiritual entity. You see, if you're alive, you have a mind. Okay, not all living things have what you might call a mind, but if you're able to understand what I'm telling you right now, you obviously have one. Now, that mind, the things it contains, they're all part of your spirit. Okay, so your brain contains your mind. That's not part of your spirit, that's part of your body. But the mind itself is not a physical entity. It's not a physical item. It's contained in a physical item. Yeah. Well, so am I. Right now, I'm in a body in Los Angeles, California. Actually, I'm in a lot of places at once. I'm what you'd call multi-present. Not omnipresent. Yeah, people do get those mixed up sometimes. And there again, stories can get embellished, and somebody might think I'm omnipresent out there because they go, hey, he can be like everywhere at once. No, I can't. Not everywhere. But I can be in a lot of places. Spirits can be spread around. So, sometimes they get a little out of hand. Many people have kept my spirit alive in themselves, passed on for generations. But it's not like it used to be. I've lost memories, but I've become a better person than I had been, I think. Now I'm faced with a bit of a problem. People want me to do all the work, all by myself. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still people out there helping. A lot of people. But I hear all about what presents people want, and many such things are huge. People ask for things like peace on earth, a better future, or even personal wealth. I haven't got enough helpers out there for most of these requests. So do me a favor and help with the big ones, would you? Work to make the world a richer, better, more peaceful place for everyone. Christmas doesn't have to be the only time people give gifts to each other. It doesn't have to be the only time the spirit of Santa Claus shows up in someone. And you can carry a little of the Christmas spirit with you all year long. So, be a good person. Be a good little Santa's helper. Take the time to go out there and make the world a better place. Give a little of yourself. If you can carry a little of me and you in the process, well, I'd be much obliged. Thank you so much for hearing me out. Happy holidays, everyone. Ho, ho, ho.